Shall we play a game?
Hello. Mark B, hello. Gaz Photography, hello to you. We are continuing our quest to find services that make the Xbox into an explode. We're driving 1D80, which is class 805. And it sounds shit. And it's too loud, but that's okay. I'll just cut it down for me a little bit. You can put up with it being loud. Hey, bad guy. Oh, you're very lucky, bad guy. You get to put up with me for another couple of hours, should you choose. We're on our way to Wolverhampton in 1D80 in a class 805. On our way to the home of the dog, Wolverhampton. Is this Smethwick Galton Green? No, it's not. Not that station. Now, this train did actually spawn in blurry, so I'm hopeful that this one might actually explode. I need to thank Gavin Smith. Hello, Daniel. I need to thank Gavin Smith for sending me a list of services that he has tested, including ones that are known to explode. So we're going to run through them. Let's see if they explode on the X. So for Gavin, they explode on the S. So I expect some of them will work on the X, and some of them won't. Ah, this one's Smethwick Galton Green. And as usual, I'm going too fast. But this speed sign's going to fix that for me. Witching hour for bad guy. It's midnight. Well, don't forget your glass slippers, mate. The prince might find you if you leave it behind. So, this morning, I did ask the morning crew if they would be okay if I replaced the morning stream with an evening stream, and the resounding answer from 93% of them was, in fact, no, bugger off. Keep both. So we shall try all that, as Vigilance attempts to make sure we're awake. How's the train going? Is it blurry yet? No, it just looks bad. Sounds bad. Is bad. Not far to Wolverhampton. Now, this service supposedly catches fire, falls over and sinks into the swamp somewhere around Crewe. Asaheo, hello, welcome. Bad guy says, is it just me or is it all on this one route that just explode? No, it's not, because it does happen on West Coast Mainline South. It does happen on Shap. It does happen on Just Trains Blackpool branches. So, I think there's a few places where it just goes bang, but I think this is one of the easier routes to make it happen. Happens on Mac too. Bad guy says, yes, I've had my glass slippers. They're currently melting in the fireplace. Very good. See, I've always thought that Cinderella would have been better off just keeping the pumpkin, personally. Because, after all, who wants to be a royal? They used to get away with everything. Not anymore. Now there's accountability for the accountability. Daniel Robert Jowett says, I just broke up from watching your stream from earlier as I was late joining. I got past the point where Mrs. TSD came in and told you off. At that point, she broke off and came back with a stack. Yeah, pretty much. Bad guy says, okay, that's why there's a couple of those that don't even own one of them, $59.99 Canadian. I really don't feel like paying that much for a route. That's fair enough. They aren't cheap. So each person gets to decide whether a route's for them or not, of course. Bad Guy says, yes, especially if they treat royals like they did Diana. Yes, indeed. Bit of a sore point for the entire universe, that one. Is it blurry? No. "5:47 a.m. and it's like lunchtime." And 6-0. Gav says it's something with crew. The trains hate crew. Could be. Bad Guy says, I still say that was a setup, but it's just my opinion. Who knows, mate? We probably never will. It's almost time to put this thing back into party mode. There we go. Party mode level 4. 3.9 miles from Wolverhampton. Would you be at all surprised to know I've been to Wolverhampton? I wasn't. I didn't actually get out of the train. I just went back the other way. That was in a 170, I think. Teach him to jump over the yellow line. There is a bingo tonight. It's in my Discord, and you've already got one of them ticked off, I think. Yep, in fact, one of them is already ticked off. Daniel went down to London to see the tributes for Diana. Bad Guy says, unfortunately, that is a true fact. Yes, it is. We will never know the truth. It's like most things when the rich and powerful are involved, is the truth is a rare commodity. Bad Guy says, did you ever see, the may I've asked this before, but I don't remember, short-term memory loss, apologise, the episode of Are You Being Served where the guy says to Mrs. Slocum, that was the best curry I've had since Wolverhampton. I don't actually remember that one. I have crashed the Xbox off stream. I discovered that if you put in service 1R25, it just explodes. You don't even get to see the train, it just goes, boop. You're out of here. So I'll actually be skipping the ones that make it explode on startup because I know they will. They're not useful to our purposes. They're not entertaining in any way, shape or form. We have to slow down the Vija. Bad Guy says it was the episode where they pissed off the kitchen staff and they walked out so they had to start serving lunch and stuff. Look it up. It's on YouTube. Lots of the good old TV shows are actually on YouTube because they have fallen out of copyright. I do detect that building is a little bit blurry. But the inside of the train hasn't gone blurry yet. Double yalla on the way into Wolverhampton. Daniel says it was your first time driving on the motorway back in 1997. So you did it. Alrighty. Oh.
We are now approaching Wolverhampton. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
When you get off the train, don't fall in the hole. I forgot about the 15. Wasn't watching. That's fine. Gav says those ones there were a couple that crashed without seeing the train. Yes, there's a few in the list. Thank you for the list, by the way. It's very handy. Hello, Real Lord Vectron. It's about time you turned up. Bad Guy says that's crazy. Real Lord Vectron says I've been getting random crashes with Cobra Mod software. It hasn't updated, so I suspect some Windows update has balked USB devices. Whole PC will lock up randomly and pressing start capture. I had a problem with my camera, actually. I had to unplug it and replug it and reboot the PC before it would work. It was annoying. Celebratory honky for being in Wolverhampton. So much celebratory honking, he almost forgets to acknowledge AWS. You have to get awfully close to this red signal. There we go. Sphincter special.
Wolverhampton, welcome aboard.
Wolverhampton.
Holyhead, calling at Stafford, Crewe, Chester, Flint, Prestarton, Rill, Colwyn Bay, Llandudno Junction, Bangor, and Holyhead.
Bad Guy says there's a poltergeist in your PC. They haunt us constantly. Yes, they do. Wait until 5:49. Really? 2 minutes? All right, let's go look around. We're going to Holyhead via Stafford, Wolverhampton, Stafford, Crewe, Chester, Flint, Prestatyn, Ahill, Colwyn Bay, Llandudno Junction, Bangor, and Holyhead. There's a lot of people, isn't there? Bloody everywhere. Oh, there are some, look. G'day, brother. You, betting on the horses again? Or you're ordering that pizza behind you? Don't buy it, mate. Stick with 3. Did you see that, Lord Vectron? He likes Vectrons. Have you seen my clipboard? I can't find my clipboard. I can't pretend to work without my clipboard. Despite the fact you can't get out here apart from on the 8 camera, this board actually works. That's quite impressive. It's the non-fair evaders. Real Lord Vectron says, I have a fingerprint reader for Windows Hello, and it's also started asking for my passcode as well. Sort of redundant. Would it surprise anyone you've never been to Wolverhampton? No, not really. I often get Windows asking for these. It's almost time. Let's start the doors closing. They are slow. The sooner we get to Crewe, the sooner we catch fire. Come on, Signal. What do you mean unlock doors? What? What, an extra unlock just to make sure? Right. That was a tad weird.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast
Away we go!
Holyhead. We'll be calling at Stafford, Crewe, Chester, Flint, Prestatyn, Rhyl, Colwyn Bay, Llandudno Junction, Bangor, and Holyhead.
Real Lord Vectron says, non-fair evaders, you mean nerds, right? No, the people who buy Apple products.
With the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
Too fast, of course, but no one really cares. Alright, we better stand on the safety path while we observe our train. I saw a short of the 200 Years train, and at some point the third carriage brakes must have been jammed on, because man did it have a bad set of flats. Bonk, 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 bonk. We better pay attention. There's a red signal in front of us. Is that 350 blurry? No, sadly. Well, as they say in the classics, tomorrow's just another day. Real Lord Vectron says us Apple buyers are the superior beings. Well, you know, someone convinced you of that. Signal is clearly faulty. What is holding us up? Whee. Oh, that one that just crossed our path. Okay. Off we go then. Bloody TFW, how dare they hold us up? That looks attached blurry, doesn't it? Good. It's a positive sign. Oh, we're up to 55. This is car 55. Reppin' for Yeshua. Rapture is imminent. Hang on. Let me give you rapture, son. And bye-bye. There you go. Your rapture is granted. Stafford is where Real Lord Vectron is waving to Paul on the platform. Hi. Flying Sharpener reckons a shed. You reckon? Bad Guy says, I can tell you one thing, Steve Jobs in his grave absolutely loves hearing that because you're making his company an absolute fortune by overpaying for their products. Vectron says, Steve Jobs was a master salesman. He was indeed. He was a very clever individual. Much cleverer than Billy. That is actually kind of true, Bad Guy, because they are both Linux-based these days. I should point out I figured out what's up with this thing. You know how it goes well in one direction and not the other? I don't know if you can see this or not. If I put it here, will it show it? No. There's a couple of marks here on the rod. It actually touches the eccentric on the link. That's why it goes funny in one direction. Who knows, eh? Vectron says BSD, damn it. I used to have a machine running NetBSD 2. BSD and Linux are almost the same thing. I know that's mean, but, you know, it's true. It's blurry on the dash. Yes, it is. It's preparing to catch fire. Let's go faster then. Let's try and outrun the blurries. What's it like on the outside, do you think? It's, blurry. And very loud. We are accelerating to our doom at crew. I have a good feeling about this one. It's going to catch fire. That's where you get onto the GSMR and go, "Oi, signaller! Signaller! My train's gone blurry! Can you help me?" And he'll go, "Get off the source, mate." Bad Guy says, one thing always bugging me about Apple is their software, also lockdowns you can't really do anything with it, but you're paying a fortune for it. Just out of interest, I have the most unlocked their phone there is and I barely touch it. But there you go. Vectron says, working in their contact center early in my career as tech support, lockdown software was an absolute godsend because all the devices are basically identical. That's true. And as a user it bugs me because I have my own way of doing things, but tech support guy, easy as. Excuse me, coughing. I don't know why that's come up all of a sudden. Gav says, I'll be laughing so hard getting a reply from the signaller. Yes. We should do that one day. Someone can be in Discord and pretend to be my signaller. Our even blurrier mess is going via Stafford. Someone's put oxygen in my water. I may have to go and get a lozenge if this keeps up. These trains don't really go via Stafford, do they? Bad Guy says, I imagine it's very easy for the people working behind the scenes, but it's annoying for the general public when you try and do things. The only thing I ever enjoyed was the iMac for video, because the default Mac editing software was always, I found, easy to use. Neil Osborne, hello. Hi, old guy, he says. I'm not officially old yet. Hey, it just occurred to me this year, this year I can get a seniors card. Ah. Gab says the next station is Stafford. Will be Bad Guy and Mr. Vectron. That's your next stop. Press the bell for next stop. The only thing I know for sure running this train is we won't hear from Greta. I think some of the line side scenery's gone blurry too, actually. Makes it look much better. Put it in diesel mode, you reckon? No mama Zifa. Zifa. Building was blurry back there. Blurry windows on this one. We are running out of memory. This is pretty obvious. It's not often it spreads beyond the trains. This building's bent. Wow. So there is a new Discord card, sorry, a new bingo card on my Discord if you want to play along tonight. It has a small change, thanks to Lord Vectron for the suggestion.
We are now approaching Stafford. Please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
I don't know, you really could step off to the platform and then get your stuff, because there's so many people crushed into that little entryway. Shed! There's so many people crushed in that little entryway, you really can't do much, really. Bad Guy says, is that blurry because it's running out of memory? Is that blurry from motion blur glitching out in certain surfaces? No, I reckon it's running out of memory. It's suffering. Got the frame rate too. It's stopping into the 30s sometimes. We should probably put some brakes on. Blurry containers. $69.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to
Southerner says, you know of a way to change the scroll wheel direction on a Mac. Turn the mouse upside down. Bad Guy says, Paul gets a cake from the kid during stream. I'm guessing this is the change. Flying Southerner says, it used to be referred to as natural scrolling. Disable that. It's scrolling and go in the direction of finger movement. I'm sure that's relevant to somebody. I think I'm blurry too. We just saw Matt's pink bits scroll past there. We are definitely running out of RAM. Cars are okay though. Oof. It's interesting how some bits are blurry and other bits aren't blurry at all. It's quite interesting. Some bits are just as sharp as they usually are. 17 seconds to go. The platform surface is blurry. Yeah, that might always be blurry though. I don't know. Oh, great. Excellent. All right, let's go find the busted door. Now, we want a carriage with its light on. No. Pole. Is it this one?
the next train
No.
to arrive at platform
It's this one.
London North
There it is.
Western Railway service to Liverpool Lime Street, calling at Stafford. Through.
Warp 4, Mr. Sulu.
Welcome aboard
Excellent.
Avanti West Coast service to Holyhead.
Hello, Hawks. How are you?
Bruce, Chester, Flint, Prestatyn, Real,
Someone's optimized me. Uh-oh.
Bangor, and
Flying Southerner says, also woke up this morning to find that TikTok I uploaded yesterday has got 13k views and still going up.
Please familiarize yourself
Amy
with
says,
the
it's Avanti West Coast. Next stop, 23 miles to burning down to the ground.
If you see something that doesn't look right, speak to staff or text the British Transport
Or we derail on the way there, one or the other.
+6. We'll sort it.
That would have gotten the on the news. All these people on videos going, you need to grab your headphones. Don't want to wake up the partner as she's still sleeping. Fair enough. That's like me ringing Richie at 4 o'clock in the morning. It's not my fault. He was Discording me and I went, I'll just ring you. It's quicker. It's too slow to type it. Oh, a TSR. Cap movements in the 805 Steve over the top, says Real Lord Vectron. And Neil Osborne says, woo. Wow, even the train windows are wonky. Dear player, your texture streaming budget has been exhausted. So I have a good feeling about this one. Real Lord Vectron says, starting from standstill, the whole loco twists. Like a Kenworth. It should be called Avanti Blurry West Coast Railway, where you find a couple of 805s that are blurry 24/7. I also love how when you drop passengers off at the station, they all just stand in front of the door and don't move. It's so realistic. Flying Southerner says, dare I ask, what did Richie say when he answered the phone at 4 a.m? Hello. And then he jumped out of bed and ran away so he wouldn't wake up Shan. Blurry hay bales! Yay! There's probably a blurry cow over there somewhere. Now we're back in the 110. Let's roll. We might actually get to 105 when we've seen that speed limit. Freddy's Fab Trains and Planes. Have you tried Blackpool Branches? That lags out. I have. But what I'm particularly looking for is things that crash the Xbox. So if you have a service on pretty much any route, any train, I don't have all the DLCs installed. I've got 86, which should be enough to make it happen. So if you've got any particular services that you think might make it crash, we can play them. As we slowly creep up towards 105. Ooh, it's getting a bit jerky outside too. On the sides and the peripheral vision, it's juttering. I moved my camera too to make it more Xbox friendly, but it's sort of a side on or a little more front. $105 miles to go. No, that's wrong. 18 miles to go. That 305? 305. That 350. That was not blurry. This is the real train driver life, this is. Just doing pretty much nothing. The old girl's struggling to get up to speed, isn't she? Maybe her traction motors have gone blurry. It's blurry in the back too. If I turn off DSD... Oh, I thought I turned off DSD. Bugger it. Right. I'm just curious, is it blurry out here? No. That looks pretty normal. Oh, no, that doesn't. Okay, the labels are blurry. Can I get in the chair? There we go. "15 miles to... we fall in a volcano." Bad Guy says, on PlayStation I've actually uninstalled a lot of my German stuff because I don't play it, so I'm hoping that will relieve some of the issues with instability and crashing. It should. Vectron says, I just found out my train driver mate has been put on paid leave for 6 months because he risks for sleep apnea. He's done the tests and doesn't have it. Milking the 6-month leave right now. I actually have to do a sleep apnea test at my next medical. Floating Southerner says, unfortunately I lost my job at the keyboard factory. All I did was extra shifts. You probably turned on sticky keys, Floating Southerner. No one wants a sticky keyboard, but lots of boys have them. Even the number's blurry. Blurry bridge. I wonder if it'll tip it over the edge. Frame rate's fairly good. mid-50s most of the time, dropping down to the occasional 40s. "12 miles to Crewe." Amy says one-handed gaming is terrible for keyboards. Wouldn't a keyboard hurt? Cruising for Crewe. What else is there on the bingo today? Have we done any of those things? No. Yes, the blurry dash has been blurry for a while. We get some more blurry containers. Which shed was it? Was it 66654? I don't think I've ever seen 66654 in the game, but it's seen me in real life a lot. It's an awfully long way to wait for an explosion, isn't it? It's a really long way. It's a long way to the top when you want a sausage roll. Sounds terrible. Ooh. The ring around the brake gauge went blurry that time for a while. Until it resolved itself. Amy says Morristown line is doing blurry textures on PC for you. How do you have 100 gig of VRAM? Freddie loves sausage rolls. Of course, don't we all? How do you have 100 gig of VRAM, Amy? 5 5090s? If only you could. If only we could still SLI. NVIDIA, bring back SLI. That one was blurry too. The Avero is suffering. Ooh, the dash cleared up. I think the blurriness jumped onto the other train and it took it with it. Oh, there it goes. Back to normal. Amy says 128 gigabytes of unified memory on Strix Halo. Ah, fair enough then. A Vital Aspect Gaming says hello again from California. Enjoy your streams. Getting ready to hop on some Southeastern high speed yourself. I enjoy that. That should be fun. Southerner says, what do you think of Cornish pasties? I love Cornish pasties. They're really nice. I went out of my way to find Cornish pasties. I have actually been to Cornwall to get a Cornish pasty. Because, you know, they have to be from Cornwall. Bad Guy says, Real Lord Vectron, I've got a good joke for you. What do you call an iPhone that sleeps too much? Dead serious. Oh dear. Are those trees blurrier than usual? I think they are. Frame rate's still good though. Swindon forever! Hello there! Gav says the blurry texture is jumping back and forth. Can't predict what will happen. GWP Photography, hello there. Swindon says, I have got Xbox Game Pass and I can play TSW5. How do I be a passenger? Spawn in free roam on foot and you can just walk around the stations and get into any train you want. This is starting to sort of judder a bit. I have a good feeling about this one. It's going to die. It's really on Struggle Street. Wonder if it's getting hot. Oh shit, is it ever? The Xbox is cooking. There's nothing wrong with asking questions. It's a good thing to do, Swindon. If you go drive a train, next menu is, or to the trains, and then drive a train, choose a route, and then choose the timetable option, and then choose free roam on foot, or spawn on foot, whatever it says. We can do it after this one crashes if you want. Ooh, we've got a lot of red signals coming up. I think we might want a lot of brakes. Otherwise we're going to spad this. We may still spad this. TPWS has just gone, hey, I'm stopping you, because you're going too fast. But even it may spad this. We're pretty close to this red. See what happens when you read chat? I can read chat now because the train's taken over. Gav says, I watch the frame rate, so that sometimes gives a hint. Hawk says, I thought we wanted the game to crash or Xbox to die, not try and burn the house down. No worries, Swindon. Oh, we managed to stop. That's good. Now we have to wait for a timeout, though. That's what that little whap 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 noise was. I'll just sit here and relax for a moment. That signal has in fact gone yellow. It's good to know the TPWS implementation actually works. Alright, let's pull the brakes back to off, and away we go. The minute just expired. Back to warp factor 4. Frame rate is about a steady 44, 45, which isn't great. It should be sitting on 60 for the Xbox. AWS. Bad Guy says, if you're not a tech nerd, you're not going to understand this joke, but I'm assuming we all like trains here can probably all long earned our nerd card, so here we go. Knock knock, who's there? Hello world. Hello world, who? Name error. The name who is not defined.
Please mind the gap when leaving the
You are terrible.
and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
The 350 was not blurry. Welcome to Crew, folks. Wobbly train. This thing thinks it's a pacer. Wow, look at the 150 down there. I do believe that might be a blurry train over on the right-hand side there. Ooh, Speedo went blurry there for a moment. Yeah, we've made it to Crew. Should probably stop the train, eh?
crew, welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to Holyhead. The next stop will be Chester. Whilst at the station, if you see something that doesn't look right, speak to our team or text the British Transport Police on 61016.
Not that we can actually take this train anywhere else. What else is blurry here at Crew? How are you, little 150? Are you blurry? Yeah, a bit. Of course, with all this smoke.
How dare you?
Oh, look at you, blurry mess. Hey, it died. All right, back in the game. So that one does die. CTD. We found one. Thank you, Gavin. Catching up with the chat while this starts up. Freddie had a giggle. GWP says, turn it on and off. What's my favourite cereal? It's, what is my favourite cereal? Just Right. There you go. Crew has a football club, or you call it soccer. We do call that game soccer, yes, but we have football as well. We have, I think, at least 4 different kinds of football in Australia. They're all called football, because we're a confusing nation. Bad Guy says, thank you, I have a reputation to hold up. And some of these points are sharp. Still loading. You clearly like Greta there. Bad Guy says, what do you do when you encounter a sad Xbox? You console it. Oh. Amy says, I'm a serial killer. Very good. Kill that cereal. Amy Manson. What else will we try? We will try... No, I don't want the ones where it crashes into when you're loading. This is another one that Barf's coming into Crew. I want to try 350 on this one. When the game eventually loads up. And the Xbox is like a little jet engine. It's quite warm. US people don't call soccer football at all. They call soccer soccer. Football is a different game. Gridiron.
Yes, US people are also demented.
What was that?
I said, yes, US people are also demented and they call soccer soccer rather than...
Yes.
Because they're dumb.
Don't you dare.
And guess what? You get a
Fuck
thing
off.
on the bingo game. Don't swear.
Don't swear, sorry. You can bleep me.
Did I
Where's
delete the
your
one?
10
There
second
it is.
bleep me?
The missus interrupts. There you go.
How many did you get last night?
So if you're playing bingo, that was another one, because guess who's here? Well, you can't see her. Here, camera's here.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, my hair looks like a boy. Oh.
And just for the record, she is wearing a top. It's pink. It only looks like her boobs out.
We're going to the movies. Bye.
See ya. Have fun at the movies. All right, we finally loaded back into the game. That was Mrs. TSD. Birmingham Crew, I do want to try a 350. Did anybody see what time that got into Crew? Let me run the stream back. What time was it when we crashed? It was 8:23, wasn't it? 6:23, 6:23. Because what I'd like to do is run a 350 about the same time. So I'm going to run a 350 out of crew. It's 6:16. Is that the best, closest we can get? I suppose so. Wolverhampton to Walsall. That's from Wolverhampton, though. We've got to run it really early from crew, don't we? Oh, well. Let's run one out of crew and see what happens. We'll even leave dynamic weather on. My Xbox is an Xbox X. I could cook an egg on the Xbox. Gav says it's a PS4 rocket. And Swindon says in the UK you call it football. Yes, I know. Freddie says, what's better, PlayStation or Xbox? Well, it depends whether you want to cook an egg or not. Oh no, it's a dark one. Dark ones are never good for streaming. Bad move. But that's okay. Doors open. Headlights, instrument lights. I clearly haven't driven this one before. And we've got our... I don't know. Have we got doors open? Probably have got doors open, haven't I? Whee. Is it blurry yet? How will I be able to tell in the dark? It just wants to go to Stafford. Stop telling me what my achievement is and take the brakes off. Why can't I get the brakes off? Oh, it's gone back to neutral. That would be why. Yeah, so I've never driven this one before on the Xbox, clearly. As we roll out to Stafford. Well, it's not blurry yet. I'm an empty coaching stock movement. Yes. Vectron says, I love the banter and hope Mrs. Vectron and I are that chill with each other. Yeah, we get on pretty well. We do like shit-stirring each other. Gav says, the easy way to tell the 350 is blurry is a 100-kilometre banner above the front window. Whoop. Mine says 110. Let's go. Do you pay real money for the 807? Have I got an 807? I don't know. Is the 807 actually in the game? Not yet blurry. Not blurry. We'll give it a try. Even if only be a bit of a relief to go the other way. It is, of course, dark, but that's all right. Bad Guy says, my answer to the question, what's better, PlayStation or Xbox? Don't care, as long as it plays games and good games. That's true. Gav says the 110-kilometre you meant. Fair enough. Chucky says we don't have an 807 yet. Same with GWP. I didn't think we had an 807 as yet. Actually got headlights on, or are they just markers? That's better. What about night lights? There we go. That's the way it should be. Not blurry. As we roll into the deepest, darkest night. That's no moon. That's a third of a space station. One is coming, yes. Bob says 807 not here yet, supposed to be coming with Trent Valley. I think so, yes. And JWP agrees. Flying Southerner says, I've got a theory. I reckon the Class 70 is going to be on the 805 timetable in West Coast Mainline South. Could be. Bob says, yeah, the 807 will be with Trent Valley. We ran Trent Valley in TSC a couple of weeks ago. Just for shits and giggles. More power. Not blurry yet. Maybe I should pick one that goes the other way, huh? There must be a 350 service from Stafford. Vectron says, I'm speculating the Class 70 will be an expert loco. There is no other reason they did a cold start in video teaser. Maybe they just like cold starts. I know who doesn't like cold starts of diesels.
How dare you?
Because they smoke. There's a good angle. We can see stuff. Actually, the PIS has gone blurry. Look at that. Yeah, more Greta there, Swindon. Have you been to the Great Western Museum at Swindon, Mr. Swindon? Bob says the Class 70 will be a godsend when it arrives because I have a freight loco that's not a bloody 66. Same with the 90. Southerner says, if it is, I'll be very happy. I would like an expert English loco. In fact, the announcement that the new expert German loco is going to have English menus makes me really, really happy. It means they listen to feedback. Bad Guy says, you might have missed my comment about your wife, Paul. You need to get her a YouTube channel. She's doing great. She sounds hilarious. We've talked about setting up a cooking channel, which she's quite interested in, but she's a bit scared of it. So maybe we'll get it to work. GWP says 70s absolutely smell. Only if Richie rails in them and he farts. Swindon says, if it happens again. Gav says, next time will be a Greta image on a train. Should do that. I should make a custom livery with Greta on it. One of Just Train's Class 47s ought to do it. The Greta Express. Bad Guy says, I think she sounds like she's got the personality for it. A comedy cooking channel might be where she wants to go, though. Oh, you never know. Maybe it'll happen one day. We've got all the gear for it. I keep threatening to set it up. Maybe I should just put it in the kitchen and set it up and start it running and not tell her, and she can just be live and not know. That would work. Amy says Coastway livery, but on a 158 with Greta. Hawk says instant workshop download. Gav says Greta will be proud. Yeah, I think so. I reckon so. 14 miles to Stafford. Flying Southerner asks if she plays games. Yes, she does. Mostly plays Warcrack. Bad Guy says that would be one to have her chase you around the house with a broom handle. She would too. "13 miles to Stafford and not blurry yet."
Matthew!
Good content, says Amy. What, chasing me around with a broom handle?
Matthew!
Are you calling me?
No, I'm calling your son.
Is he lost again? Sparkles. Rob Powell. So it's hard to type with a Void Panther on your lap. Probably. Not blurry yet. We found one, Rob Powell. We found one that killed the Xbox. Yeah, Swindon says, nice drive at night. I don't usually stream night runs, but, you know, sometimes you need to try them. Because they're not particularly visually attractive. At least with the Xbox screen, I don't have the light bar over my head, because that makes it impossible to see. New York, Texas Railroad, hello. How are you? Welcome along. And welcome along to Rob as well. We will get there eventually. We're on our way to Stafford. We're hoping this train goes blurry, but it hasn't yet. I don't think. No, it hasn't. Halfway. You just can't see, says Swindon. Well, yes. Bad guy says, I'm sure Rob is thrilled to hear that. Actually, he probably is quite happy to hear it, to be honest, because the biggest challenge in fixing a problem is being able to reliably recreate it. That is one of the hardest things to do. Ooh, I think the train just ran over us. I don't think it liked me being up the front. I don't think it likes me being here at all. Oops. Rob says, actually, yes, finding ones that consistently crash the system helps finding out why, because we can measure it, memory usage internally, and look at fixing it. New York, Texas Railroad says, opinion on the East Coastway cats. I've only found 5 of them and there's one left. 27 Missouri, hello. Bad guy says, that's a fair point. This one is 805 1D80, which is the one that crashed the desktop, Rob. I'm just getting ready for Metro Rivals, because this is the view. So next up we will run, after this, 1R25. I think, yes, 1R25. Actually, no, it might be 5D20 Part 2. Yes, 5D20 Part 2. That'll be the next one. Gav says, looking for a Stafford to crew, please. C says, don't know why my comments ain't working. Hello. Hello, C. You're here. Amy says, you love OpenBVE if you love that view. I have played OpenBVE. Whoops, I need to slow down. We're arriving at Stafford. Bad guy says, I've got a sure way of how to solve all of Train Sim World problems. Just get Sam to play the game, because that man can break Train Sim World like nobody's business. This is very true. He has the luck. Or the lack of it. Yep, 1D80. Bob says, I couldn't give a damn about Metro Rivals, not my cup of tea. That's fine, Bob. That's not an issue at all. I will get it and play it, because, you know, if it's a train game, I'll play it. You know that. 27 Masari, did they not test all the services and consoles for PC? You can't actually test all the services. It's not possible. There's thousands of them. So what happens, the way it's tested is the services get simulated and you, they all get run through in a test environment. But that may not pick up issues like this, because when they're running in that test environment, they're running on a PC, which means they don't have the memory issues. Rob Powell says Sam was the king of space launches, or actually the Jing, which probably means he's a Class 66. Jing, 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 jing. Vectron says, I'm out of the loop. Who is or was Sam? Sam is Colonel Failure. And if you like a very funny individual, I suggest looking up the YouTube channel Colonel Failure, because he's very, very funny. He's a complete dick, but he's a funny dick. So 27 Masari, if you actually sat down at a console and tried to run all of the services, let's just say just the 805s, for example, on average, they're an hour long, and there's about 50 of them. So there's a week and a half gone. Vectron says, I miss Colonel Failure streams. Well, he is still streaming. Bad Guy says, I never forget to stream, or him and Matt managed to lose their train in a world, basically falling to the tracks. I think they were playing an underground line with the 19. Gab says his name suits him well. It does, it's his thing, failing. He's very good at failing in a funny way. Rob says he's the community manager for Transport Fever 3. He is indeed. I'm actually looking forward to that, even though I find games like Transport Fever a bit grindy. Why didn't we get a AWS for that? Oh, have I not got it turned on? It's alright, we're not going to spad. We've got all the brakes on. It'll be fine. Mind you, I could spad this one because it's going to be fine. But I find Transport Fever 2 to be a bit grindy, but I will have a crack at Transport Fever 3 because it'll be good. And even though I find Transport Fever 2 a little bit grindy, there's the feather. I did play it, I think, for a series of maybe 8 streams or something, so, you know, it wasn't too bad. Bad Guy says he can be, but from what I can tell, Sam is one of the most lovable guys you'll ever sort of talk to. He is. He's a good unit. Sadly, I've never met the man in person. I've only chatted with him online. Has that little sign up there gone just a little bit blurry? It has. Alright, we'll look at the train when we get out in the station. Look out, Stafford, here we come. Vectron says, Transport Fever 3 is on my radar, but those games are too micromanaged of my liking. Hopefully they dumb it down a little for us normies. That would be cool, because that's kind of the same issue I have. Which is weird, because, you know, I'll play Railroader for days. There's some very sad news in Railroader too. The guy that makes the mod that underpins nearly all of the mods has had jack of the Railroader community and has pulled his stuff. So it's no longer available online, and he's no longer touching it. So when the game updates shortly, all of those mods are going to die, which means that I have to get the terrible intercity transportation system. Its run's going to end soon. So it's not going to get to run forever because it's quite dependent on all those mods. Yeah, the train has gone blurry. Look at all the other signs. So we are suffering from memory, but we're not there yet. Oh, I haven't got the frame counter run. Well, it's not too bad on the outside. It's maybe... Oh, hang on. Yeah, there. I do kind of wonder on this train whether there's actually another livery underneath this one. Because if you look at that, it looks like there's an orange livery there behind it. And sometimes it bleeds through when it's getting a bit blurry, like now. We've got some green surrounds on the windows. The toilet signs inside have gone blurry. So this is close. I reckon if we ran this train into Crewe, it would probably happen. Wait until 5:38. Very good. We'll do that. Have no other choice. Masari says, I mean, you were right, but as a game owner, you have to make sure that people won't find that many issues with the game and all that. No, they really do try and test. I know people do, and it's a common thing. People say DTGs doesn't test games, but I guarantee you they very much do to the best of their ability. There's a big beta team. I used to be in the beta team, but I pulled out of it because it meant I could never speculate on stuff because I actually knew it was coming and I would accidentally leak something for sure. Amy says, if you want dumbed down, City Skylines. Masari says, bugs are fine. Every game has bugs, but crashes you can't really fix on consoles or PCs could be a pain in the butt. No, they absolutely are. You're right in that. They shouldn't exist. Bad Guy says, same here. If I ever had the opportunity, it would be an honour to meet the guy. He seems pretty awesome dude. Kind of guy that you want to sit down and have a beer with. Yeah, absolutely. Amy says, that's why Southern High Speed Intercity Transit is vanilla. Rob says, I think we have a crash candidate here if we're being blurry at Stafford, but it doesn't go further than Stafford, unfortunately, this one. Is there one that actually goes into Crewe? Doesn't, I'm not seeing one. Oh, yes, there is. It's another darkness one, but it's going into Crewe. So I reckon we'll try this. 1K84. And let's go and set us, let's give us the slightest chance for some light. And we'll drive this one into Crewe, so we'll try. Bob says, have you used any Australian mods on Transport Fever 2? I haven't, no. I've seen a lot of them. Gav says, I found a run from Wolverhampton to Crewe class 352, 1F49. Oh, let's do that one. Because that's during the day. That'll be much better. Oh, no, it's already blurry. Look. Is that my train? No, the other one's my train. It doesn't look blurry on the outside. Looks fine. Oh, no, it's cleared up. But we'll run that one. That's a good idea. Because that's during the day. I was about to say, why don't I know what I'm doing? But that's obvious. I'm me. But that's okay. C says, blurry textures pisses me off to the point I hardly play TSW now. Stick in there, C, because there's work happening on it. And I just realised I gave you another bingo. I shouldn't tell you when it happens, should I? Vectron says, scuttlebutt on the JT testing server is DTG is being conservative with the number of people they allow into the beta program. Got hundreds of applicants, but only allowed a dozen or so in. No, that's normal, mate, because you have to manage them all. And everybody that's in there is a potential leak. So I'm not at all surprised that they keep the numbers down. What was it? It was Wolverhampton 2 Crew 1F49. And it's a 350? No. 1F49. Well, it's not that one. Let's try the 350/1. See if it's that one. I can just scroll, can't I? Because it's 9 something. No, it's not this one. There's 1F50. That's a full run, Birmingham to Crewe. That might be all right. So we might come back to that one, 1F50. Put that in the list. 1F50, but let's try and find yours. So let's see if it's the other 350. The 2. There's 1F42. And it's 1F... I've forgotten it again. 1F49. 1F44. doing that. 1F49. There it is. Okay, let's get into it. Oh, we'll leave dynamic weather on. Let's be exciting. Vectron says at least there are 100 of us in the JT beta server waiting for access. I'd be surprised if you all get in there, to be honest, because to actually get access, you need access to the actual beta build, which is near enough to a dev build. It's a lot of trust. They've clearly heard I'm driving because they're all getting out. Looks nice and crisp at the moment. Why is my stream complaining? Oh, it's all right. C says, I'm one of the Vectrons. Chucky says, blurry. Lord Vectron says, New York, Texas Railroad, the XAI boss promising no AI slop. Xbox is dead.
The next train to arrive at
It's not good.
will be the 0932 Avanti West Coast
Amy says the Acela is surprisingly nice to drive. It's not a bad train, that one. Rob says, I'm in for a company the size of DTG. The beta seam size tracks with most companies percentage-wise. We also have internal QA, and believe me, without both, the game would be worse. Yes, very much. Bugs are given back to fix for a product in dev, get prioritised and triaged. Vectron says, I'm not expecting any beta access, but the JT guys are pretty good at setting expectations and do share projects to the current process. DTG's getting better at that. We've seen that happening with Metro Rivals. There's been quite a few dev blogs. So I think that's probably an experiment. A little bit. Metro Rivals itself is an experiment, in my opinion. I think it's like the fishing game. It's an experiment in UE5 to learn how to do it, particularly with trains. Alright, we will see if this guy's going to have a successful run or not. And yes, I should have DRA on, but it's a pain in the ass with the console. Off we go to Pinkridge.
Welcome aboard this London Northwestern Railway service to Liverpool Line Street. We'll be calling at Pinkridge, Stafford.
C says, I think I may pull from the JT beta team. It's just pointless waiting for waiters of months.
Mossley Hill and Liverpool Line Street. Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
JT could, if they wanted to, give you builds of pack files that would work. So saying it's on DTG is not 100% right.
Text the British Transport Police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it? Say it. Sorted.
Because if you're running on PC... Ooh, look at that one. Oh no, it's alright. It's resolved okay as it got closer. Round we go. Vectron says, I've been a DTG hater, but I do like the streak of transparency the last few months. The Feb roadmap stream and explaining the issues with textures was refreshing. Yeah, I think it's a good step. That accelerated a little quicker than I expected it to. Just a little. New York, Texas says Xbox really has no more exclusives anymore. I miss the days of true competition. Yeah, they just share everything now. I think for the money, or at least what they cost here, Xbox is a better deal because they're a couple $100 cheaper than a PlayStation for the same hardware. I don't know if they're like that everywhere on the planet. But even the Gen 9 stuff is starting to show its age. We haven't blurred out yet. Everything's still nice. Vectron says, I made the argument about dropping the pack files of builds, but I'm assuming there is something in their contracts that prohibit that. Rob Powell says, we call people like Vectron a realist. We don't hate the company, but you rightfully get annoyed when things aren't right, which is well within your right as a consumer. That's cool. I'm not up with their agreements, obviously, Vectron, but I would have thought they could give you a build if they wanted to. I know Richie's had all aboard builds, for example. Amy says, I like the Series X because I can run games without needing malware. Anti-cheat on my PC. I play Fortnite Festival, the Guitar Hero clone. Yeah, I get pretty mad at the GTA stuff that they try and install. To get rid of that, I have installed executables with the same names that I built in .NET that just do nothing. They just start and go to sleep, basically. Because the game just checks the service is running. It doesn't care what it is. Vectron says, I don't take it personally, Rob Powell, but frustrates me because I know I can fix it, but I have zero power on the influence and come across as a nutter online. No, you're just a nutter, Vectron. But you're a lovable nutter, so it's okay. Driven 3.5 miles. Magic. I think I've had that a couple of times, that achievement. We should zoom in, because I'm told this makes it worse. I don't see how, but, you know. We'll do what we're told. Bob says, as the Class 70 is being added, maybe there'll be a Freightliner depot being added because they'll need somewhere for storage and maintenance. Is there a depot on the routes modelled so far? There are some depots, but I don't think I've seen a Freightliner specific thing. I just realised I didn't turn on safety systems. Oh, maybe I did. Come on. Can I have it? No. On. Right. There we go. There we go. Not blurry yet. Who, me? Too fast? No, not like me at all. 3 miles to Penkridge. We used to have a place called Pentridge. It's a prison. Vectron says, oh, I'm definitely a nutter. Amy says, I hit Q for the AWS. I'm in a cellar. What's just... Oh, yeah, good on you. What's the bind for safety systems? Shift enter and control enter will turn on and off your safety systems. Saves you finding the switches. Swindon says, how do you get a Class 720 on Greater Anglia? It's your local class. I don't think there are any Anglia trains in the game. I don't think we've got a license for Anglia. Rob says, I'm nearly at this HUD stage. I still need a bit telling how fast I'm going because I can't read the speedo. Well, the speedo's not too bad. Have you seen Matt's toy, Rob? Matt's made a thing that puts the track monitor on a little screen. I think he said it's running on a Pico. Not 100% sure about that. C is asking Vectron's in the beta that he just joined. That's the Just Trains beta, yes. Bob says we have plenty of passenger depots and freight yards, but what about depots for freight locos? Makes you wonder if there are any.
Minimize the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and
Well, I think you're getting your Nebworth. Yep.
Welcome aboard this London Northwest.
Yeah, welcome aboard. Only if you could jump fast. Well, there you go. You got your Nebworth. Is Nebworth even still here? Yes, it is. So if you're following along, you know, you just got another one.
Liverpool Line Street. You'll be calling at Stafford, Crewe, Runcorn,
Oh, I've talked to him about it, Vectron. Matt's going to release the code for that at some point. Freddie says today is your birthday eve. Well, happy birthday, Freddie. That's cool. Gab says I love Matt's toy. It's cool.
Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
So if you're playing the bingo, you should have mentioned I've been here, Nebworth, but that's okay, and the missus interrupts. Vectron says, been in the JT beta since the TSW6 launch, about 4 months now.
Transport police on 61016. We'll sort it. See it, say it, sort it.
Yeah, I can't let them letting 100 people in to the beta. Because to get the beta build, you will know what changes are coming to the game. And if it's when it swaps, I shouldn't say when, if, when, could swap to CSW7, you'd know, and you'd know what the core routes are, because you'd have that stuff. So I'd be a little bit surprised if they let 100 people in. Stafford in 3 miles. No, it's not the same bingo card C, it's a new one for tonight. So I've moved a few things around and took one off and added a new one. Slowing down for the 60. Rob says that's something I need to think about in a few months' time once my legal agreement is placed and product tests, getting a small beta team together. Well, there you go. I can't read or write code for shit, so I need some sort of framework, says Vectron. It's much easier to update something than write it, yes. New York, Texas Railroad says, is it true that Cactus Juice is leaving? He already has. And yes. We've got a red on the way into Stafford here. Vectron says they've given you early access screenshots of Preston Crew and the new Cumbrian coast route.
Mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
C and Vectron joined the same time. Carlisle to Whitehaven or whatever. Rob Powell says, yeah, he's gone. Can't discuss about that or share my opinion without getting myself sacked. No, that's all right, mate. Don't really reveal anything internal. It's just one of those things that people move on sometimes. There doesn't have to be a reason. Vectron says, I need internet drama. Do you really? Alright, we have not yet gone blurry here. So we'll see how this one goes going into crew, and then we'll run another 805 service. I've got another one from Gav's list that will probably crash, so...
Birmingham New Street, calling at Cambridge, Wolverhampton, Smethwick, Galton Bridge, and Birmingham New Street. Platform 4 for the 0939 London North
This is
Western Railway.
This is Stratford.
For the 0940 London North Western Railway service to Liverpool.
We'll worry about the stuck door when we close them. How's this one?
Liverpool South Parkway.
No, this one's fine. How about this one? What's this one look like? No, this one's fine too. I am beginning to think that restarting the game actually really significantly helps.
Platform 4 for the 09
Might as well go and find this stuck door, so since we've got such a long time,
service to Birmingham New Street, calling at
why don't we do it properly?
Wolverhampton, Smethwick, Galton Bridge, and Birmingham New Street.
Let's go and find this stuck one while we're waiting. Well, this is handy. None of them have the light on. We didn't clear the fault, did we? Well, we'll just open them all. Not that one. I don't think any of the coaches actually had the light on, did they? I didn't see one.
The train at platform 6 is the 0943 London North
No, that one's not.
Railway service to Crewe, calling at Stowe.
That one's not.
Stoke-on-Trent,
Maybe the lights don't show when you're in neutral.
Alsager, Crewe.
Let's jump back in the chair.
Will passengers intending to travel on this service please join the train now, as it is ready to leave. Platform 6 for the 0943 London North Western Railway service to Crewe, which is ready to leave.
No light. No light. No light. And no light. Alright, we'll just have to open and close them all. So it's not that one. Alright, this one. No, not that one. And not that one. Did the fault clear itself? There's a weird thing. That's that one. Okay. But the light wasn't on. That's annoying. Is it time to go yet? Ooh, we had some blurries for a moment there. Quiet train. It is just about time to go. Doors should be locked again. With a little blue light somewhere. Let's just make sure. Oh, sanding's suffering a little bit. Almost time. "24 miles to Crewe and hopefully an explosion."
Welcome aboard this London North Western Railway service to Liverpool Line Street. We'll be calling at Crewe. Run call.
Vectron says I might start my own YouTube channel for train sim dramas. There's already a channel for that. A niche within a niche. Gab says we need to buy an internet drama sash for Mr. Vectron in bright red.
Please familiarize
Texas Rower says I fear the future of American route quality. Vectron says this week TSD said this. Watch for more. This DTG ambassador said what? Yeah, you could have fun with a channel like that, I guess.
Something that doesn't look right. Speak to staff or text the
But there is someone else that's a little obsessed with me. There are 4 ticks on the bingo card, see?
Say it. Sorted.
The 4 ticks are Nebworth, mention I've been here, but that's okay, and the missus interrupts. Rob says, and this is why we're taking our time with this stuff, it isn't 100% reproducible, and you're trying to reliably reproduce the issue is a godsend. The more it can be reliably reproduced, the more info. We have to try and fix the issue. And trust me when I say we know blurry textures and crashes are completely unacceptable. Yeah, I don't think there's any shortage of effort going into it. As we head into Crewe, Ian says maybe a faulty fault. Well, I think there might have been a fault that the light didn't work. C asks, so I assume you're part of DTG, Rob. Rob is a developer for DTG, and he's also a third party. We played some of Rob's scenarios the other day on stream. It was good fun. And there's more coming, so watch out for them. Oh, GSMR's not on. That'll affect something. Better boot that up so we can talk to Mr. Signalman. Bob says, does DTG have the licensing for EWS and Freightliner? It's surprising that not much has been done when there's as much stock that could be done to flesh out routes, not counting Creator Club stuff. I think it's a matter of understanding what will sell and what won't, I guess. And Holy Trucker says it'll be Friday for the remaster. I don't know where you got that from. There's no date for it yet. But feel free to guess. Go for your life. Holy Trucker says, is that Rob's ballast mod too? Actually, I'm not sure if Rob's done a ballast mod. Train's looking okay. Let's do the 3 cameras so we don't get hit by poles. I've been where this train's going too. I rode in there to see the tunnel and came out again, as you do. Big Hub Jada says hi. Hi back. Chocky Transport says it has to be this week. Look, I kind of think soon, because we had the 0 to 3 months promise in November. So if that's still sticking with it, there's not much of February left. We are on the 22nd today, so 6 days left, really. C says final product. I meant sorry, it's all right, C. Vectron says they've shown Class 90 with Freightliner paint scheme sans logos, so 90 and 70 I think Freightliner is given in the future. Could be. I'm wondering what track we're going down then. Ian says, I play TSW on Windows 11 gaming laptop. Where do I need to place mods for them to work in the gameplay? Yep, and Holy Trucker has answered the question in the content folder under DLC. So go find where Steam installs your games. So if you go, one of the options in Steam in the settings is you can find the folder the game's in. That will take you there, and then go into the content subfolder and DLC under that, and drop your pack files in there. Just do make sure you pick up your pack files from a reputable source, because they are executable code. And there have been some that have had malware. Places like Train Sim Community are a good place to get them. Rob says, not anymore unless it changes system stuff like the heavier rain mods. It goes in my documents in-game TSW6 user content. Really? Because that's how you turn mods on and off in the menu. I don't think that's been publicised very much, Rob. Be good to get some detail on that and tell people how to do it. How did you get the game without Steam, Ian, or have you used Epic or Xbox PC? But it's the same thing. You go and find the right folder and plonk it in there. Holy Trucker says, felt weird dropping that rain mod into my documents folder. Is there a good rain mod I'm hearing? Is it worthwhile? Let's go check how we're going for time too. It's 8:45, plenty of time. Says he dropping his controller on the floor. That's pretty good. 15 miles to Karoo. That's better. We'll get there eventually. We're going to go to Crewe a lot today. Amy said I've been putting them in my documents in the Proton prefix. Feels even more cursed. We'll stick with the Hundy. It'll be fine. I'm just trying to see where because I've got mine in the same spot I've always been putting them. Let's have a look. My documents, saves, my games, Train Sim World 6, user content. Oh, I see. Fair enough. So this was the path Rob was talking about. Oh, you're using Xbox PC, are you? Probably work the same way, I would think. Xbox PC's fine. It's probably in the same folder. Because if I look at... where is it? So I'm just trying to find out where Xbox stuff's installed, actually. I'll have to have a look at that. I can't really do it while I'm driving a train, though. I'll end up doing something bad. Wesley said I was proud of Richie hitting 7k subscribers on Thursday. Indeed. 2000 Mathol. Hi, how are you? Welcome along. Hope everybody's well tonight. We've picked up about 30 people at the moment, so that's cool. As we drive into Crewe for the... Is it the second or the third time today? Looking at the time, it's probably the second time we're heading into Crewe, I think. And we are looking for services that actively crash the Xbox. So if you know of any, drop them in the chat and we'll have a look. And this is being done for good reasons. This is being done so we can reproduce a problem so that when a fix comes out, well, apart from the fact I can give DTG some services that it definitely fails on, when a fix comes out, I can test it and prove it works. Hey, Chucky. No, there's no like 1C. 10 miles out of Crew. We're not blurry yet, so this one's doing fine. I don't have a bad feeling about this one. I think it will be fine. It'll just roll straight in there, I expect. So I've been through so far, both on streams and off streams, I've been through about 20 services. And out of the ones that people have reported to me crash, Gav's list is the best. Gav's ones seem to invariably actually fail. How's that look? That looked alright, that one. KTL says third rails just dropped to version 10. Is that the rain mod, Bob Power? Ian says, I try that path, thanks, and no, I wouldn't want you to have RTA real-time traffic accident. That wouldn't be good, no. Seven miles to Crew, and it feels like such a long way. I don't know why it feels further in this train than the other one. We're not going much slower. And after that we'll have another long run to run. I do have Island Line 2022. I have all the DLC on PC, and I have 86 of them on Xbox. I quite like Island Line 2022. Last year I actually went to the Isle of Wight, and I rode the train so much that I got to talking to the guard, and at one point he actually let me guard the train for a couple of stops, which was cool. He goes, you've watched me often enough, you do it. They're a very friendly crew out there. Rob says it started off as a map tracker, but it's now doing things like real-time weather, etc. Oh, that's the one that sometimes makes the game explode. I've been avoiding that until it stabilizes a little bit. But it does look like a cool concept. Wesley says the 484 is the D78 stock. Yes, it is. C says East Coast Remaster got to be this coming week, so either Tuesday or Thursday. Keep speculating, young fella. Go for it. So the only thing I'm going by is the roadmap for November came out, and I think the first Tuesday in November. So we've probably got till the first Tuesday in March for it to still actually be 3 months. So we'll see. We shall see. Hey Eddie, welcome along. Welcome to any of the lurkers as well, or anybody I haven't welcomed in. Thanks for joining in tonight. And watch me going to Crew, and going to Crew, and going to Crew, and going to Crew. And probably follow that up with, let me think, something completely different, going to Crew. This morning we were doing West Coast Mainline South, and we did lots of Euston runs, and lots of runs in the other direction. And I've done quite a few more during the day, just playing. What I was doing with the ones during the day was a little bit rude. I'd come down here and I'd find a service that didn't have stops between Birmingham Crew or between... are we getting snow? Really? We are. Okay. Between... or Stafford maybe. And I'd start the train and get it running, and then I'd go and spend time with the in-laws. We really are getting snow. Yep, snow. 3 miles to Crewe. I think this one will arrive quite successfully. I don't think it will explode. Because, is that one blurry? No. I don't think we're struggling for video RAM at all at the moment. Hello, Sean. Welcome along. Hello, Kelly. 1A20 crashes on Birmingham True. Okay. Am I going to Crewe by any chance? Perhaps. 1A20. What is that one from? 1A20. Actually, I might know about 1A20. That's... Yes. That one crashes when you're loading to service, I think. 1A20. Whee! Stop reading chat. Obey signals. No! Stop! 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 Ah! It's gonna be close. It's gonna be very close. Whoa, look at that. Perfect. Well, you didn't get your spad onto bingo. Sorry about that. For me, 1A20 crashes when you load it. Gav says, Crewe by 6. Sean Land. Sean, good morning. Hello. Try the flaky snow mod. I should do that, Holy Trucker. Thank you. Gav says, Snow Sim World. C says the snow effect on TSW is awful. It depends what the train's set up for. So I don't mind what it does on the windows. I think that's pretty cool. But it's all about what the trains are like. Hey, look, we've gone blurry. The Avanti made us blurry. That's interesting. Is that a shed in the distance? I think that's a shed. Shed incoming. It's weird how you can tell when they're only 4 pixels high that it's a shed. No, there was no spad. No spad, Lord Vectron. Do you want to see how close it is? See, I've got about 5 meters there. That's fine. And we're blurry again. Yay! We are indeed blurry. I might take back that this isn't going to crash when we get into Crewe. Maybe it will. That'd be a good thing, though. Eddie says, how is everyone tonight anyway? I'm well, thank you, Eddie. Apart from being itchy because eczema. And Gav says, ouch. Andy says, the October roadmap had the DBBR 420, the Expert 145, and Crewe Preston in 0 to 3 months. And we're still waiting for them at 5 months. I thought it came out in November. It does look like maybe there is an issue with the 390, yes. I just stopped looking at a shed. Actually, look at that. Ah, damn it. I think those carriages are a bit blurry too, actually. They are. So I wonder if the shed's blurry. We've probably got a green signal. We do. Better get out of here then. New York, Texas says, if anything goes wrong, blame the 390. Gav says, I had that feeling the 390 is a memory hog. Hit the like button. 33 watching and 16 likes. Thank you. See? We'll let the unit cope with slipping by itself as we head into Crewe. Rob says it's definitely got a lot worse. We might get a crash, or at least everything be far too blurry. I'm hoping for a crash because I want services that we can reproduce this with. And I do think that doing multiple runs on the console helps. So there may actually be a leakage issue as well. I just sort of have a little gut feel about that. double yellow. Don't have to get too excited about that. And the next red's at the end of the platform, so that's fine. Hawk says dot. Ooh. It's been infested by the darkness. We are now made of dark matter.
We are now approaching. Crew, please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
Hello, Anthony. Welcome along. It's good to have so many people in watching me try and kill an Xbox. Actually, another clue, Rob. The Xbox is getting really hot. It had cooled down for a while, but it's now getting hot again. Yes, the max speed banner is blurry. Rob says a memory leak would be bad. We'd need to find out where it is and why it is happening. I remember an old game, Birth of the Federation, that had one. Yes, memory leaks suck. They really do. They're so hard to find. I don't code these days. I do design work for systems, so I'm immune from memory leaks. But they are the worst kind of bug to find, especially I used to live in the embedded space. And an embedded system, when you've only got something like 60k of RAM, I should probably go further down the platform, shouldn't I? But it's too late now. Well, we didn't crash. Not yet, anyway. And looks like we're not affecting the Avanti. So when it was really bad before and it crashed, we were affecting the other trains. In fact, I think it's cleared up. It has. And no, inside's still blurry. But I think we're going to be okay on this service, so... Oh no, it's gone blurry again. Interesting, it's a bit on edge, isn't it? It must be just over. There we go. So we will... Next up, I'm going to run... 1D84 on an 805. So we'll give that one a try. Dutifully reporting, the Xbox sale is on right at the moment. Just waiting for that to load. Let's have a look at the chat. New York, Texas Railroads, is it upright or vertical? Not sure what you're after there. Bob says, a while back I suggested the Glacier Express for Ratichbahn in Switzerland, a 200-kilometre route, which shouldn't be a problem as Kassel-Wurzburg is 200 k's. It could be quite good too. That's a fairly fast one, I think, that one, isn't it, from memory? It's like 100 plus. All right, let's jump into the 805. And what were we doing? 1D87. Was that the one I said? 1D84. 1D84 is what I said. 1D84. Euston to Chester. Oh, that's a short one. Is that the right one? Oh, we'll play it. Why not? We'll see what it does. Maybe this one will be good. Benjamin, hello. The only memory leak you have is the one in your brain jar. Yes, it's very difficult living in a jar, isn't it? Hello, Ibby. Welcome along. Benjamin says, I'm lucky if I even get the game to boot up on Xbox Series X with every piece of DLC installed. Well, I've got 86 installed at the moment, and it seems to be mostly going okay, but we've managed to reproduce a few issues, which is good. Oi, I'm pretty sure I did Control W then, so that should have done that, which is much better. Doors, headlights, instrument lights, not that it really matters. Shift enter and control enter. No, that's isolated. Shift enter. Come on. I think I've turned them on. Alright, we are good. We are set up, ready to go. Everybody else looks smooth. Now, where are we actually going? We are going to Crewe. And it's Euston to Chester, but clearly we're not at Euston. So, it's a little short run. Oh, look. Shed. Is it 66654? No, it's not. No, this one looks nice. I'm just scooting around, wasting time. Because I have to wait another 25 seconds. The trains all look alright, don't they? Ooh, it's blurry for a moment there. Rob says, don't expect a 200 kilometre route to release on Gen 8. No, I don't think so. Glacier Express takes 8 hours to cover one trip. It's the world's slowest express by time. Well, that'll be fun. No, 2K19 didn't crash, Ibby. And is it time to go? I'm pretty sure I just locked the doors. I think. I haven't got them open on the wrong side, have I? No. Looks fine to me. Go around there. Why does it think they're not locked? Alright, let's unlock them then. No, it's just locking them over and over again. Where's the button? There it is. Door close. Force them open? Oh, that's why. Okay. Close. Let's go find the light on. At least these carriages do actually put the light on. And there it is. Right there. It'll be this one. Hey! Don't throw me over the train. Bastard. No, that one's not flashing, so it's not that one. Maybe it's the one at this end. Yeah, it's this one. Have we got another fault? Let's try and open them again. And close them. I don't think it's happy. I wonder if we've got another fault. Could we have two on the same train? Is this possible? Whoops. That one's not on. That one's not on. That one is not on. Nor is that one. Oh, here's one that's on. Oh, there we go. We've got a door open. So we had two faults. Not often that happens. That's alright. Time to go.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to Chester. We'll be calling at Crewe and Chester.
Off we go to cruise to Crewe again. Going to Crewe, 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 going to Crewe.
Played throughout the train.
24 miles that are mighty familiar to those of us who have already been to Crewe 17 times today.
If you see something that doesn't look right,
Vectron says, to Bob, Matt has stated length isn't a determining factor, but labour bandwidth, 200 kilometre route is a possibility. Rob says it's possible, just need someone prepared to develop it. And we're seeing Jet Engine Express. Gav says Harry's there somewhere at Stafford waving at the shed. She's probably sitting in it. EB says 100%. Ian says I've just subscribed. Thanks, Ian. Welcome into being a subscriber. Rob says faulty door 2. And dragging a 379 on Seven Valley. Mods are great. Actually, the Seven Valley route is... It's early days for it, but it's really good. So if you're on PC, go and hunt down the Seven Valley mod on Train Sim Community. I've done a stream on it. You can look up the video if you want to. It's good stuff. EB says I did it yesterday as well, and it crashed at Bletchley for you. Yeah, it ran fine for me. Didn't even go blurry. Amy says the PIS even shows Bridge North properly on the ends of the 379. It does. TSW Fault Edition, TSD Edition. Bob says, from what I've seen, trains on the Reichsbahn have an average top speed of 80. Actually, you know what would... we've got a TSR. You know what would be in your favour for the Reichsbahn? Jamie loves it. And Ibby says this game is so confusing. Well, faults are confusing in real life. Because, you know I keep telling people, but there might be people here who don't know. I actually operate real trains. And even on our steamers, faults happen, mate. And you have to work them out. Freddie says, what a surprise. Crew again. Yep, crew is everywhere. Hello, David Smith. Yes, we have actually managed to crash once. So that's good news. That is what we want to have happen. So I've got one service that I can reliably crash. I've got 3 candidates that come awfully close on the X, so they probably would crash on the S. But I am deliberately running on the X because anything that crashes on the X, I could just about guarantee you, if it's memory related, is going to crash on the S, because the S has less. But I run on the X because I can run the X in 4K and it's more pleasing on my eyes than the S, which I can't run in 4K reliably. And I am running with all layers turned on. And I have 86 DLC installed. Ibby says this and you report it to Dovetail. Absolutely. Absolutely. That and we have a Dovetail person watching it. That doesn't hurt. $110, off we go. Full bore. Yeah, Ibby, the ambassadors have a somewhat less crowded Discord channel that we can report things in. So if you've ever got something frustrating you, Ibby, let an ambassador know, and as long as we get steps to reproduce it, any of us would be quite happy to report it for you, but we need to know how to reproduce it. You can't just say sometimes it does this, because we need a way to be sure. Oh, look out, here comes the fog. At least this was a relatively realistic switch. Why did we have an AWS alarm back there? No adverse signals. Speed is an increase, not a decrease. Ibby says Discord is always chaotic. Oh, it is in the community one, yes. I do trawl through there occasionally. The ambassador one's a little quieter. Bob says, I have both a Rosalini and Bernardini already. Staged some screenshots with a Rosa and a GE442 and 812 Allegra as well. Freight wagons to flesh it out a bit. Allegra does work on a Rosalini. Yeah, it does. I've run the Allegra on a Rosalini. I find a Rosalini, run it in winter. It looks nice in winter. EB says, for that switch was realistic, could have been a bit slower. Gav says, lol, Moggy put the fog in. And I find a lot of issues are frustrating, difficult to reproduce, which makes things impossible. Yeah, that's it exactly, David. I'll still report something if I can't reproduce it, if I've had it happen. But that's not going to make a likely thing. See you later, Vectron. Thanks for coming in. That's not likely to get it fixed, because unless a developer can reproduce it, you hand it to them and they go, well, what do you want me to do? And it might go into QA and they have a bit of a mess around with it and try and get it to happen, but steps to reproduce are really, really important. $16 miles to crew. We'll try and stay inside most of the time because the sound on this train when you're outside is just a tad unpleasant. Bob says the Rosalini could do with some reworking. Distance scenery is bare and the physics of the GE442 seems off. Otherwise it's a nice and challenging route. It is quite a challenging one. But like I said, run it in winter. It looks nice in winter. Winter with about 50% fog. Ibby says, I hate those services. You a 3-minute ECS from a depot to a station, then you derail at 5 mile an hour. Well, if you've got any of those, chuck them in the chat. Because if they always do it, I can report it. Often those ones are people not setting the switches the right way. I did have a guy send me a video about that, and I told him what was wrong, because he's not set the switches the right way, and he's running through a switch. So the game's derailing him, and he's going, no, it wouldn't. I go, well, clearly it does. Spirit of Steam needs volumetric fog. Because it's a bit bland. How are we doing for time? It is 21:17, that is fine. Gab says the thing you have to remember, the dev build that DTG have for the public is different. You see it on a public build and they follow the steps and they can't get it working is an experience. Yes, that can happen. So today on Xbox I'm running the same build you do. But on PC I'm actually in a early access build. And I don't usually come out of it because I just uninstall whatever I've got in early access. I just stay in the build. The only time I tend not to do that and I switch back to the public for a stream is if the cores had a significant change that people would spot. Apart from that, I tend to stay in it most of the time because switching's a pain in the bum. There probably have been suggestions for a 730 pack. That's the Banshee train. Ooh, I thought we were staying blurry then, but we're not. 11 miles to crew. Would be perfect for West Coast Main Line and Big C, Birmingham Cross City. Ibby says, I know some services in GWER that go blurry but never crash. Well, if you've got some of those, let me know, because they're a clue. And what platform are you playing on, Ibby? Ah, remind me not to do that. It's too loud. We're currently sitting on about 111 miles an hour. Eight miles to Crewe for the 18th time today. Ian says, I have eczema as well. I strongly recommend an oleatum bath. If you don't have a bath, there's also shower gel. Oh, I've got stuff for it. I have to be careful because a lot of those creams and things actually contain what I'm allergic to. So I have to be very careful. But this one I think was brought on... You're on the Xbox X, Ibby, thanks. This one I think was brought on by a food. And I think we managed to isolate it now because there was one particular thing we bought for our Christmas party, which was a nuts and munchies mix. And I took out everything that I'd had that, you know, we hadn't had, say, in the last 3 to 5 months or so. And eliminated everything and then just gradually put it back and waited to see when the reaction flared up again. And it flared up with the nut mix. So it's not a nut allergy because I can eat nuts. There's something on these nuts. A couple of weeks ago it got so bad I actually went on a really strong course of steroids for a week. That is, of course, exciting because you get addicted to the damn things. Ibby says, hopefully that blurry texture fix actually makes stuff better. Well, we hope so. So as long as we can reproduce things, that's what we need to be able to do. Hey, that's gotten a little bit blurry, hasn't it? Alright, that was worth going outside because it was actually a little bit blurry on the outside. Bob says, only had one crash on GWE Master so far at Class 47, time travel dragging the flying scrap heap to Paddington. I have run that service and it went okay for me on PC. I haven't tried it on Xbox, I should. And when you say things like I should, you know, there's only so much time in the world. I can't run every service. $2G18, okay, and that's on Riviera, isn't it? Or GWE Master, you said. And what's the train, Ibby? 165, thank you. Chocky says you should run that next. Maybe we take a change from crew. Well, we could always go look at that, why not? And it would make a change from crew. I'm getting a little bit tired of the look of crew, to be honest. Especially this stretch. Blurry but no crash. Well, we'll see how it goes. Because it would be nice to have a break from crew, because I've got another one I want to run after that. Bouncy, bouncy, bouncy. Single yellow. I wonder if my wife put the chickens away before she went to the theatre. No, he's got his headphones on. That train's not blurry, not at all. And that's probably the one we're waiting for, so I can probably start to accelerate. Amy says, is there a good way to share scenarios from Scenario Planner with mods to other people? You can share the files directly. C says, is the overhead wiring wrong? I thought somehow it sways to prevent damage to pantographs. Game, it's straight. It does normally sway from side to side. This one is a little straight. They do normally, sort of like a snake. As we come rolling towards the red. I'm trying to read chat while approaching a red signal. It's never a good idea. Gets blurry at the station where the 72s are. Okay, Ibby, thank you. Amy says, it's a good way to... Oh, sort of. Ian says, you're talking about the station, not colleagues, or is it euphemism? No, it's the definitely the station. Oh, that's gone yellow, but I can't see it yet, so I'll ignore it. Oh, there we go. We can see a pixel. There's a yellow pixel. Just one. Ibby says the OHLE is realistic on other routes. Yeah, I think this one, it probably is a little bit out. But coming into stations, see here it's starting to sway again. You can see it is starting to go back and forth again, so yeah, it probably was a little bit straight back there. Because what C was talking about, if it's exactly straight all the time, so if we pop outside and go up on top, you can see it moves from side to side a little bit. I can't quite get it right. That way. You see how it's moving back and forth on the pantograph? So it doesn't wear a groove in it, because pantographs have got graphite strips on top. There we go, it's going back the other way now. And Ibby's got another one, 1C08, and it is the HST FGB 8 car. And we should be going a little bit slower here. Benjamin says, why did TSW6 introduce the visual bug of the window opacity of passing trains? It's been like that for a long time. Like about TSW2, I think. 2 or 3. I think it's more visible in TOD 4 than it was in the older ones, but it's definitely there. Now arriving crew for the 18th time today. And we have gone blurry, look at that. What have the sides done? Not too bad. Not as bad as they were last time. There's a little bit of blur, but not too bad. But the cab certainly has. So we will see what this one does in just a moment. Bob says the OLE cable zigzag to create even wear on the pads. Exactly. And you can tell me the exact weather for all of them. It's always the same. I was just getting my muncher to go out and check out Chooks, because I'm not sure if the wife put him away or not before she left.
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to Chester.
Welcome aboard this blurry Avanti West Coast service.
Whilst at the station,
Oh, the train is a little blurry now. So I think we're on the edge with this one. Looks like it's going to survive, though, I think. Oh, no. Buff. All right. So that didn't All right, that was close, though. That was 1D. I've got it on my list of ones I wanted to try. 1D, it was 1D84, wasn't it? 1D84, I think. At crew 805. All right, we will do the oh, actually, that's something else we can tick off on the thing. We've had game crashes. Benjamin says, video idea discussing the changes of various Todd versions, what you like and dislike. I've actually done one of those. Bad Guy says, I'm back to talk to a friend. She was kind of having a bit of a mental health crisis. I think I've talked her down. She's going to sleep now. That's a good sign. Yes, well, hopefully she's okay, mate. 480 Studios, hello. Welcome along. 1D84 confirmed. Thank you, Ibby. Thanks, Gav. 480 says, interesting, what service do you have to do a power changeover? I thought the diesel 805 was more like a gimme thing. Chocky goes, crash, yes. No, it's to leave that station. There's no wires after the station. So because that service is continuing out of the playable area, it needs to go into diesel mode. And C says, one more to go on that line. So we're going to go and do, I hope I've got Great Western Express installed, actually. We'll know in a minute. The only thing I won't go anywhere near tonight is East Coastway, because it will not be in a fit state, because I've got some things installed that will not make it good on the Xbox, because we're not allowed to run the early access version on the Xbox, but I've got it installed just to boost the DLC numbers. So we won't go near that route. 480 says, that's kind of disappointing, but thanks. A lot of people are saying that it means there'll be an extension at some point from Crew out to Holyhead, but I think maybe a new route Crew to Holyhead would be very welcome. I'd enjoy it. Getting out to Wales would be good. I'd love to see the Cambrian coast for Wales as well. That'd be really cool. My Xbox is cooking again. I could pop an egg on top. East Coastway never crashes. Well, it might after the remaster. If Todd 4's got anything to do with it, it might. Because I've only seen it buff on Todd 4 routes. That doesn't mean much. Come on, there we go. No, no, not resume last played. No, no, no. Back out, back out, back out. Damn it. It's actually the right route, but no, it's not what we want to play. Let's get out of here. We'll try the HST, why not? 1C08. Well, the one, no, I haven't driven a 165 for a while. Let's do the 165, 2G18. I think it's something I talk about during one of the remaster videos, Benjamin. I don't know if I've done a specific one about Todd. I probably should. It's not a bad call. In fact, I'll stick it on the board for future video ideas board. Todd changes over time. Because I have actually got every version of the game playable, so I can do that relatively easily and get examples, especially now that we've had remasters. All right, to the trains. That one. Timetable, and we want a 165. 166. Alright, won't be running that one, because I think it does manifest as a 165, doesn't it? Oh, we're running the wrong one. It's not Riviera, Twit. It's Great Western Express. Where are you hiding, Great Western Express? There it is. 2017, isn't it? 165, which masquerades as a 166. Is it that one? Let's have a look and see what services are in there. 165 GWR 2 car. That's the one. And we want 2G18. Let's just get up the top. 2G18. There we go. Oh, it's a nice quickie. We'll leave dynamic weather on because, you know, why not? Bad Guy says, I wonder if Dovetail regrets going to Todd 4. I don't think so, because for a lot of it, it's actually okay. Friday Studio says, I hate that so much. I normally rage quit and start the game again. That always takes longer, but I do it out of spite. There was a patch that happened to GWE for Xbox, changed some blurry texture areas, but mostly the same from your experience. Ian says, what is a Todd? It's the time of day system. So it's the sky and clouds, lighting, to some extent weather. Hello, Alexander Lukul? How are you? Benjamin says, how did that Voyager get there? That would mean they're actually working and not cancelled. This is true. Half clouds. All right, let's get this one set up anyway. So, master key, forwards, right-hand doors by the look of it, headlights, I probably want daylights. Oh, we've only got... Oh, no. All right. Come on. Day. There we go. Instrument lights. Ooh. They're a bit bright. Is there a dimmer? Yes, there is. That's as dim as it can get, I think. So this is the 166 that masquerades as a 165. And it'll say 165 on the front, and I think it says 166 on the side somewhere. Oh no, it's got 165 on it. Wait until 9:45 and then we shall get out of here. We're in paddles. Stand by. Yeah, it's a 166, but 2 cars, basically. And Benjamin, it's just empty car moves. The Voyager. So for those who have just joined, because about 7 or 8 people just came in, just like that, we are deliberately trying to kill the game on Xbox in an effort to create reproducible test cases for the crashes related to blurry textures. So that's why we're doing what we're doing. We need to come off the brakes. Yes. I had to look down and make sure it was a single thing. Oh, I haven't turned on.
The next station is Acton Mainline. This is a Great Western Railway service to Leeds.
Alexander says TSW is good. It is quite a good game. I spend a lot of hours in it, so clearly I agree with you. EB says, for those who just joined, the service is just blurry and no crashes. So we're just having a bit of relief from crew, because since this morning I have been to crew 18 times, and 3 of those have had crashes. This thing breaks like a fish down a pipe. And we're probably just waiting for that train. There we go. .480 says, oh dear, I'm on PC and my services just froze. Well, that's no good. The game does that sometimes if it does a garbage collect. Hopefully it'll come back to you. Going out to Acton Main Line, platform number 3. 3. Oh, it's one of those moments.
How dare you?
Greta doesn't like these trains. Sorry about facing this way, by the way. Normally I face you guys, but I need to face my Xbox screen. I can actually watch it in OBS. It's close enough to it. Oops, sorry, it's bumped my controller. It's close enough to it that I can react quickly enough for the train. But when I'm looking for blurry stuff, I really need to watch it in 4K, not a little preview thing in OBS. The brakes are a little bit rubbish on this train. Benjamin says, do you use inverted controls? No, I don't. Let's see what the outside looks like. It looks pretty normal to me. Loud vigilance. That one looked alright. Bob says, do you want to piss off Greta? Original HST with Paxman Valenta engine. Yes! Alexander says, not a good platform. 3 and 4 are good platforms. Ibby says, I wonder who's inverted controls. I'm sure some people do. So looking alright so far. Nice bit of smoke there. Ooh, double smokies. .7 miles to our first stop. Here's where it gets blurry, so let's go outside. Doesn't really seem like it. Oh, maybe a little bit. Not much though. No, I don't think it is. The pink high-speed train. .480 says, do you know why the FOV is so low? Because I use God mode in PC. I've zoomed out a bit, it looks more realistic, and I get a few FPS back, sometimes up to 10 FPS. I would like an FOV slider, because field of view is a fairly personal thing, how you want to set that up, so... God mode can do it. The other way to do it is put in the universal VR injector. And the other way is by using a head tracker, because you can lean back and get more view. Neil is back. Hello, Neil. Ian says safety system goes off while doing other stuff. That's normal. Ian says I get a crash to desktop when loading a 390 at crew. I found a workaround. Load on foot about 5 minutes before and play on Xbox Series X. I've got a great list from Gav of ones that crash when you get into them. But I haven't got one from... How is it not blurry yet? I don't know, Ibby. But it doesn't seem to be. As we roll very slowly into Acton Main Line. Alex's train is not good. Yeah, so the ones that crash straight to the desktop when you get in, I've got a really good list to hand over to DTG, because Gavin's done some excellent testing and done really good recording of it too, so I'll provide those. So I don't need to run those ones because they're just start and they crash, so they'll be good when the fix comes out, and I'll be able to check for that. Oops, not an emergency. No, just full brake. That'll be fine. Look at that. Acton Main Line sign's a little blurry. Shed. It actually is a little bit blurry, Ibby. Yeah, it definitely is. She's definitely having a bit of a visual sook. Someone just stepped on my head, didn't they? Go on, get in if you're getting in. How far does this one go? Ealing, Broadway... Oh, just a couple of stops. We'll do the run, why not? Ibby says maybe I should delete and reinstall GWE. I don't think so. Yeah, we did get blurry, Ibby. Blurry textures just came in a bit late to the party, says see. Alexander says Czech is good, UK too. Well, there's a Czech route coming out soon, Alexander, so we'll see. And Chocky says, yeah, it is blurry. Ibby says this is what Xbox players have to deal with. Yes. I personally am part of the PC master race, of course. But I do have the Xboxes as well, so... So that's confirmed blurry. I shall put that on my list, because that'll be a good one to check when the fix comes out. In the meantime, we're going to Ealing Broadway, and there's another smoking. And an HST. You gotta love a good remaster, don't you? Oh, look at those, they're blurry. The DB Schenker carriages are blurry as. Are we still blurry on the outside? No, we've cleared up. So much traffic now. It's good to see. Ealing Broadway is our next stop on platform number 3.
We are now approaching Ealing Broadway.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform and take care when
PlayStation is better. I think it does actually happen on PlayStation because I've seen it happen with British Ace. So even on the PS Pro it happens. But it's very uncommon on the PS Pro. It's got an extra couple of gig of RAM to play with. Is that 600 volt DC growl? Another HST, which is a tad blurry. So while our train's okay, the other ones aren't. Not really blurry yet. Oi. Oh, now we are. Now we're blurry. And Kieran from All Aboard was onto the blurry crashes trying to work it out. Well, some of his trains are blurry, so yeah, he should. Full Fang. Let's wait until it redraws itself. That one is too. On our grand pass to West Ealing, and then we'll go back and do another crew run. Actually, what time is it? 21:52. I'll see if I can find a short crew run, because I don't really want to do another hour tonight. It's I've got to be at work at 8 AM.
We are now approaching West Ealing.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform, and take care when sitting down.
West Ealing coming up. I haven't checked what shift I'm on this week, coming up Friday too. Be out on the steam railway on Friday. The bridge is blurry. And the train is blurry too. Hey, this side's better. Sort of.
Great Western Railway service to Greenwood, calling at Drayton Green, Castle Bar Park, South Greenford, and Greenford.
Ian said you would be late for work if in the UK. Probably.
24-hour
Ibby says you can drive a bit on the 165 and 166 while the doors are open. Yeah, you can open them up. This is it for this run, isn't it? Yes, it is. Go on, you lot. Finish getting in. They're all getting out the other side, you know that, don't you? They all went straight through the train and out the other side. Ah, well. Back to... well, not this one. Back to crew. And we'll run... 1D83. Once this finishes loading the timetable that we don't need. Eddie says it's the same with the XPT, which is our version of the Intercity 125 in the UK. Yeah, it's pretty close. Different engine, though. Although ours does still smoke like a bastard. Chocky says 0.173 yards is good for you. This is true. I don't normally pay attention to my stopping spots very much. Choose a route. Birmingham Crew. Tim table. Modern Tim table. And what should we try? An 805 or a 350? Let's try an 805. 1D. 1D87. That's the rumble one now. 1D87. 1D87. Euston Chester. Oh, good. It's another short one. That'll be good from a bedtime perspective. Ibby says HST run best describes the blurry text issue on Xbox GWE. Ian says it's currently 10:55 a.m. in the UK. Bright and Sunday morning, I hope. And Ibby says, Chocky, I don't know why, but whenever I see Chocky, I think of chocolates. I could go and get some chocolate. I've got a nice Toblerone. So, thinking of chocolate, I'll be right back. As you do. Yes, I am wearing pants. They're shorts. Not plugging them or anything. I just like them. Time to go yet? No. That's a good thing because it always takes forever to work out how to get into these things. And I do believe we just tick off another thing on the bingo because I just did a little burp that you guys probably didn't hear. Galaxy doesn't exist in Australia. Almost time. Galaxy is very nice, I have to say, though. It's a very nice chocolate brand. Locking up, come on. We might have a door fault. I'm thinking we have a fault. Let's go out and have a look. I'm not seeing any lights anywhere. Oh, yes, we are. There we are. Don't you hate trying to get on little things? There we go. So we got to lock it now. I should have stayed on the hotspot, shouldn't I? Come on. There we go. No, there. Okay, that should be all of them. Unless we have two. No, Good to go. Am I not in forwards? Oh. How did I get out of forwards?
Welcome aboard this Avanti West Coast service to Chester.
Chester.
Crew and Chester.
Yay, we're going to Crewe. Yay, Crewe. 19 times today.
Please familiarise yourself with the safety notices displayed throughout the train.
Eddie says, not impressed with the new trains replacing the HSTs. No, no one is. Toblerone, the goat. Yes. Bad Guy says, here, question for you. The most obscure Australian thing that you really like that no one else would ever heard of. Black cats.
We'll sort it. See it, say it, sorted.
Black cats. Awesome. That's an Australian thing for you. Of course, there's caramello koalas too. They're pretty good. C says Cadbury is minging, not even the same chocolate. We have Cadbury here, but it's a totally unrelated brand. So the two organisations do not work together. We just use the same branding and the same wrappers and stuff. 480 loves the 805 because of the sounds. Train sounds are so important. I'm not very interested in freight. I'll probably get the Class 67. If you think this thing sounds good, wait till you hear the outside. They're a tad shite on the Xbox version. 480 says, not the 294. I walked away for 30 seconds and the engine turned off. That happens. EB says, no, surprisingly. Chocky says, meow. Fair enough. That like, yeah, chocolate or a cake? No, it's a lolly. They're little soft aniseed flavoured lollies. They're awesome. We also, up until recently, had the incredibly politically incorrect black babies, which are now called chockies. Bad Guy says, I've heard of caramel koalas. They're surprisingly enough, never tried them. They are very good. Low Tech, why did Australians call red gingerhead people blue? Because we like being weird, Low Tech. Eddie says they've completely removed the sleeper carriage. Melbourne Sydney one's still got sleepers. And so we come into yet another TSR on our 19th trip to Crewe today. Wonderful. Eddie's Bad Guy says, I don't know how obscure it is nowadays. We have a really good chocolate bar here called Coffee Crisp. It was only Canadian. I don't know if they're extended, but man, that's a good if you like. I have heard of them, actually. I don't know if I've had one, but I've heard of them. Coffee and chocolate with a wafer in the middle. Ibby says, I'm disappointed with the 171. It's just a 170 with a different cab and different interior. I get why people are mad about the 377/3 sounds being copied from the /4 East Coastway. It should have had its own sounds. I don't know how different they are. I have not ridden both, so I don't know. Oh, we're through the TSR. Let's roll. Possible it's made by Nestle. We probably do have them here. We just don't call them crisps then. The new trains, they won't have them. Sydney, Melbourne still run a sleeper service. So I don't know how they're going to do that. The overnighter. That thing would be really shit without it being a sleeper. It'd be like 12 hours of sitting up. It would just suck. $20 miles to Crewe. Again, yay! I used to get the HST sleeper quite often because the people I worked for had an office in Melbourne and Sydney. And this was before Teams, when you actually had to go to another office. So I used to finish off at one location and go and have dinner and then go and catch the sleeper to the other location. Have a nice sleep, get up in the morning, have a shower on the train, breakfast on the train, and then go and sit in a cafe for an hour or so until the office opened. Go to the office all day, rinse and repeat to go home. And the other blokes would come up on the plane, they'd go, "Oh, what are you getting the train for?" I go, "What time do you get up?" And they go, "Well, 3 a.m. And I go, "See? I slept." Ibby says, "Welcome aboard this train sim driver Xbox crash service to crew. We call it crew, West Ealing and crew. And we're going too fast, and vigilance." We have those two, bad guy. We call them Aero here. Chocolate weed bubbles. And I have to say, if you ever go to a sewage treatment plant, the first tank where they bubble oxygen through the mix to start the treatment process and feed the bacteria looks like an Aero bar. Once you've seen that, there's no going back, really. Every time you see one, you'll think it's a poo bar. And Lowtech says, "TSR, terminate and stay resident." Yes, that was an old term in programming. Eddie says, "I hate to say it, that's what we have to deal with when they retire the XPT. Which will be a sad day." I know Williamstown Museum's been offered one, but they don't know what to do with it because it's so big. When Bob hears of TSR, he tends to think of the fighter airplane that got cancelled after 2 prototypes. David Smith says, "When I worked in the steel industry, I did something similar. All KY colleagues would drive up to Scotland once a month and I would just sit on the train working and having breakfast. Sounds like a plan." We're going to ride the Caledonian Sleeper when we're heading up to Scotland, when we're in UK later in the year. Which will be good. Bad Guy says that's what they're called here too. They're just arrows, but they like chocolate with bubbles in them. It's really good. You know, my grandmother loves them, especially in her dementia. We haven't gone blurry yet. I say that confidently without looking outside. Do you know, in all the runs I've done, I think this might be the first sunny run. Hopefully it holds. We're catching up with a shed. Ooh, the containers are blurry. Oh no, it resolved. The containers were blurry for a moment there. But they've come good. You are correct. That would be another thing on the bingo, mentioning the UK trip. Any of them, in fact. This is number 3. How are we going so far? We have one row that's almost ready, but it would require internet problems. Actually, didn't I promote someone else's channel earlier? I think I did. So that's ticked off too. So there's 2 ready for a bingo. All you need is complaining about bandwidth or an overshoot. Either of those will trigger it. We can't overshoot into crew, so that's not happening. Because we'll go through a red signal and SPAD. Wow, this track is looking familiar. It's probably starting to get to the point now that I could do it without the HUD completely. EB says, yay, another shed. Eddie says, I think it would fit nicely at Thelmere, probably. Bob said, roll into Class 70, Class 90 and reduce the number of sheds. I don't think it will reduce the number of sheds, Bob, because I doubt they'll sub in for each other. Wouldn't it be funny if the route that the 90s and the 70s come out for has a shed as well? Chocky was about to say HUDless. There is a fair chance I could do it now, but I'm not going to. Concentrate on one thing at a time. That and having driven 19 trips, I am getting a little bit tired. "19 to crew. There's been others. Because even I got bored with going to crew. Blurry! She is getting blurry. If she's starting to get blurry that far out, this could be a crash candidate. Because they don't normally get blurry until they're closer, but we haven't lost the lettering inside yet. Always wave to your mates. EB says last time they had the wrong liveries and the DBs are meant to be FLT. "6 miles to crew." And that will put us out of our misery for today. 480 says, I wonder if it will ever be possible to make a DLC that combines all the West Coast mainline routes together in a modern version, and DTG could test new technology to make a very long route. On the PC, yes, it's possible. Away from PC, no. The challenge is they run at different eras. They could actually do it now. The length is not an issue. But on the consoles, it would be an issue very quickly. See what the outside looks like. It's not too bad. It is a bit blurry. Oh, we've gone blurry inside. No, it's recovered. Let's go back out. That's interesting. It's blurry outside, but not inside this time. Look at that. Yuck. Yep. It's interesting it's not blurry inside this time. There's another shed. "3 miles to crew." I should probably start slowing down. Just gently, gently, gently. 480 says, you're right, make a modern one, so upgrade every route to 2026 standards and make it one long route. EB says, that's what I've been trying to say. DTG made some sort of system to connect the routes without having to go to the menu and choose the same service on another route. And Chocky says, Chad! Look, that I think would actually be possible. That you drive along and you dematerialise on one route, rematerialise on the next one. I think that would actually be a possible thing. I have talked to Matt about that fairly extensively before. Don't take that as something that's coming, though. Because Matt and I talk about all sorts of shit. Last run into crew for today. Definitely blurry. I think we're riding a crash candidate special here. I wonder if the AIs go blurry. Has anyone ever seen a blurry AI? So that'd be interesting. Yeah, I hear you. I do see another shed in the distance. But I should probably pay attention to what I'm doing. How's our blurs going? Oh yeah, a little bit blurry still. Still red in the distance there. Well, we've cleared to yellow. Still blurry? Yep. Bit worse if anything. It's starting to go in here too. Oh, it just cleared up. But it was definitely starting to.
We are now approaching. Crew, please mind the gap when leaving the train and step onto the platform before removing heavy luggage and pushchairs.
We are blurring in here too. If you look at the TPWS panel in particular and the safety systems below it, we're definitely blurring. I think this is a crash candidate. I reckon. Oh yeah, look at that. She's really going on the outside. Nope, totally gone now inside. And the other train I see over there is also quite blurry. The Northern Trains one. Ooh, rail tour. It's a pity it's all blurry. That's the first time I've seen them blurry, actually. What's on the other end of this thing? Are we going to see a blurry Scotsman? It is a steam engine, whatever it is. Or it's a very smoky diesel. Steam engine. Ooh, look at that blood and custard. That's terrible. What is the engine? It is a blurry steam engine. But not when you're out here. That's interesting. Yeah, very interesting. In fact, mine's not really all that blurry anymore either. Alright, let's open the doors. The blurriness just cleared up inside. So this one hasn't died as yet. Oh, that other one's blurry over there. The one that just took off on the right-hand side there. I keep forgetting about the West Coast local steam engines. And lock. Let's see if we survive the experience. Whoop, no, out of memory. There we go. So that's an Right, so we've got a few successful ones today to be able to test the test any fix we get, and I can plus in some ones that definitely do die, which is really good. And we'll go from there. So don't take this as the concept that there's a fix coming out real soon. I'm just preparing for when it does, because I want a particular list of services, but I'm also going to pass these services into DTG just to help with resolving the issue, to be honest. Excuse me, moving my camera while I'm chatting to you. It's rude, but that's okay. Or not. That'll do. Alrighty. Well, have fun, folks. This has been a good time. We almost got a bingo today, so we almost got one tonight. We almost got one this morning. I will be back. I haven't decided what I'm doing midweek yet this week, but I will do something on Wednesday night. So, as usual, we shall see you then. Benjamin wants to be my friend on the Xbox. Alrighty. Well, have fun, folks. If you know of any other services that do die, feel free to jump on my Discord and chuck them in there, because the more I can get, the better for testing any eventual fix that may come out. Alrighty, enjoy yourselves. Have fun, folks. Thank you very much for coming in and joining in. The chat's been awesome tonight. For those of you that just wanted to lurk, that's perfectly okay. It's good with me. C says, was that class as an overshoot as you passed the stopboard? I'll give it to you. You can have an overshoot. And on that note, bye.